friends. Y'all know Miss Watson is a little extra, so I hope you like my little mini trailer before we got to CGI, because today's CGI problem, it's about to go down. We're gonna learn today. So today on our CGI problem, we have a two-part CGI. It has a part A and a part B. So the first time while I'm going through this problem, we're just going to sit here and listen and visualize. You know, every time we do a CGI problem, it is best to read it more than once. So we're going to read it twice. So the first time we're doing it, we're listening and visualizing. Second time while I read, you're going to be making note, maybe creating your key box, and we're going to get this done. So we're going to listen and visualize. Second time, we're going to annotate. Let's get started. Community garden is divided into 10 equal sections. Carrots are planted in 5/10 of the garden, and peas are planted in 1/10 of the garden. The rest of the garden is planted with beets and corn. More of the garden is planted with beets than corn. Find the number of sections of carrots, peas, beets, and corn that were planted. So that time, we just listened to visualize what was happening. Now, we're going to be listening to annotate. Let's get started. A community garden is divided into 10 equal sections. Carrots are in 5/10 of the garden, and peas are planted in 1/10 of the garden. The rest of the garden is planted with beets and carrots. More of the garden is planted with beets than carrots. Find the number of sections of carrots, peas, beets, and corn that were planted. All right, so the challenge is I don't want you to do any math for part A. I only want to see you draw out what our community garden will look like. Pretend this is a community garden at Seek Academy, which I know plenty of you have been a part of with Miss Chavez. And you need to plant 5/10 of carrots, 1/10 peas, and then you need to tell me how many beets do I need to plant and how many corns do I need to plant. I can't wait to see your visuals of what it should look like. I'm going to ask you to press pause. I want you to do the work on your own, create your own garden, and we'll see who has it right. So here is my Seek Academy garden. So pretty, so neat, and so organized. I hope your scrap paper looks just like mine. So what I did was I made 10 equal sections and I labeled it. I know that it's 10 equal sections because that is what it said in the story prompt. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sections that are equal. I know that there are 5 out of 10 sections that are solely for carrots. So I'm going to fill in my pretty pink boxes with the word carrot. Great. Now that I know I have 5/10 of my garden that is carrots, I need to plot or plant my peas. I only have 1/10 of peas. This is my kind of garden. I'm not a big fan of peas. So I'm going to plot or plant my peas right now by writing in peas in my box. If you guys notice, I'm labeling what fraction of my vegetables take up the garden. Now I'm left with how many sections left? I'm left with 4 sections left. I now know I can look back at my key box. Do I have any more information that tells me what to plot? Not really. I need to look at this information down here though, because this is the information that's left. I know that this sign right here, when I made it, it means greater than. So I'm going to just label greater than. Greater than. The cool thing about the number 4 is that it's an even number, and I have 2 plants to plot. I have a beet to plot, and I have a corn to plot. So I'm thinking in my head, is there an even number of sections to plot? No. I need to have more beets than corn. With 4, what number gives me more beets than corn? If you thought about it and you said 3, you are correct. I'm going to label beets. And put my fraction. If you can explain to me why the number of beets would be 3 tenths rather than 2 tenths or any other fraction, please respond in Dojo or in a text message to me. Send me your answer. Why would there be 3 sections of beets rather than 2 sections or 1 section of beets? Use your information from your key box and from the story problem to help you. Great. Now that we have our community garden made, it's time to try out using some numbers. So now we're going to be using numbers in part B to explain why part A is correct. If you guys remember, you can only get these kinds of problems right if you get part A right. So if you can't explain why, you might want to go back, rewind your video. But if you think you have it right, let's move on and let's try part B. What fraction of the garden is planted only with beets? Show your work or explain your answer using equations. So part B is asking me to show my work. How do I know? I already went ahead and made a little corner section about all the numbers I added up that tells me my fractions of vegetables. I have 5 tenths of carrot, 1 tenth of peas, 3 tenths of beets, and 1 tenth of corn. So let me show in my equation, how do I know? Based off the information they gave me. So the information they gave me was in the key box. They told me that I have 10 sections. So a whole community garden makes what? What is a whole? A whole in this case would be 10 out of 10 sections. I already know that I have to plant 5 tenths of carrots. And 10 tenths minus 5 tenths is, when I'm subtracting a fraction, I never have to change my denominator if they are the same. So I only have to pay attention to my numerators. 10 minus 5 is, you guessed it, 5 out of 10. I also know that there are 1 tenth of peas in my garden. This is all information I already knew from my story prompt. So that left me with 4 tenths of remaining sections. Now, I know from my key box and from my story prop that there are more beets than corn. I know that I have 4/10 of a section left, but I do know that my beets do not equal my corn. So what will give me 4/10 without them being equal? That's right. 3/10 plus 1/10. 3/10 is definitely bigger than 1/10. Can somebody explain to me, how do we know that 3/10 is greater than 1/10? If you know the answer to this question, please write a quick sentence in Dojo or send me a text message. All right, friends, I told you that CGI was going to go down and that it was going to be lit and that we were going to get our work done and we were going to learn. And I hope that you spent the last maybe 10 minutes or more with me learning and growing. And I bet 100% of you got down to the answer just like I did. So before I say goodbye, let's get our one last minute hug. Everybody put your arms around and hug Miss Watson, because I miss you so much. And you know I'm a little crazy, so we gotta shake hard, take tight, so that I can feel it all the way from my home. And continue to be great, smart mathematicians. And I can't wait to see you again.